Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Benjamin. I'm part of the Guyama committee here in San Jose, California. And this year we have a special event going on for our New Year's Eve party here in San Jose. And we're here to interview the main featured artist, KSRA, an Assyrian well-known artist, aka Rachel Sarah Thomas. She's here with us from Chicago. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Pshena.
So first of all, we wanted to thank Rachel for taking the time to be able to interview with us and then also come down and feature her music with us at the San Jose New Year's party here in San Jose. So a few of the questions that we wanted to ask you, KSRA, is one, what got you into your musical path and what inspired the name KSRA for you?
Well, what got me into music was actually videos that I saw on TV and Disney movies and all the songs that were in those videos. I fell in love with music. I fell in love with singing. I would get so excited, and so I started singing for my family when I was 3 and 4, and then by 5 years old I was competing in competitions and performing around the state. Not nationally, just because we still wanted to keep it local and have time for family, but performing a lot. So the name KSRA is actually from the song KSRA, Sarah, the whatever will be. Meaning I wanted music to be a source of freedom in my life, and that once I chose to pursue it, I would just let, God kind of guide these, take the reins and guide my life. So that's why I chose that name. And my influences, actually, I like a lot of songwriters. I've got Bob Gowdy and Leonard Cohen, Joni Mitchell, Chris Christopherson, Smokey Robinson, Harold Arlen, a lot of songwriters from the past, and producers now like Timbaland, Diplo, LP, and Bjork. Those are my biggest influences, for sure.
Gotcha. And from the Middle East perspective, has Assyrian music influenced your style as well?
Without me even knowing, yes. From growing up in the Church of the East and hearing all of the melodies, and especially the repetition of a melodic phrase, I didn't even know I was doing it until I got older and started listening to the songs that I wrote and recorded for Petra. Petra was the first time I recorded any of my songs. And I listened back and I was like, whoa, I'm repeating this refrain and it's really similar to this David Isha song that I've heard. Or this melody reminds me of something I heard in church. And so it was a surprise to me, but it was a really happy surprise because it's obvious. My culture makes up like 95% of my life. So of course it would infiltrate my music.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Do you live and reside in Chicago, or where are you located?
I am located in Chicago, yeah. I live in Logan Square. Okay,
and are your main performances in Chicago, or are you venturing out like San Jose or cross country, or where have you played?
So I've actually played all over the country. I used to tour by myself. I would just get in my Buick and drive around the country and play. So I've played in a lot of the 50 states, not Alaska and Hawaii, unfortunately. But yeah, I was touring a lot, and I would book my own tours, be playing like basement shows, dive bars, and clubs and festivals. So the whole gamut. But right now, for the past 6 months, I took some time off to finish my album, my new album, Emergency, and also kind of work out a business plan with my new partners. I've signed a production deal with a hip-hop duo called The Business, and so we're working together now on that. And actually, this is the time of unveiling. I was just in LA last month, and the month before that in Atlanta. This month, in 2 days, we're doing Chicago, and then we're doing New York, and God willing, London. So
that's awesome. And the New Year's party here in San Jose, I feel like it's going to be a special one for Assyrians to be able to experience your music. Tell us a little bit about how you're going to put that set together for us here in San Jose, and what type of music you'll be playing, and will we be hearing some of your new music from the new album?
Yeah, for sure. So I don't want to tell you. The first thing I thought was like, I'll tell them I'm spinning 90s and someone's going to go, oh, I don't want to hear that. I'm going to go. But so for the 3-hour set, the first hour is going to be all my original stuff. And I'm really excited to play for an all-Assyrian audience. I don't think I've ever done that before, like a full set. I did the Linda George Black and White concert last year, and that was really fun, but this is the first time it's like 800 Assyrian people and it's New Year's Eve, so I'm pumped. So the first hour is just going to be a concert of my music, Petra, some songs that you guys haven't heard before, they're unreleased, produced by Thelonious Martin and Professor Fox, and then my new album, Emergency. And then the next couple of hours, I'm going to be doing like all of the songs that I love from 80s, 90s, now pop, and then end with a little bit of Assyrian stuff. And I'm planning on taking a few EDM tracks and singing them in Assyrian, so we'll see.
That's pretty impressive, because normally a set is probably about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, correct?
Yeah. Thank you for knowing that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's, after hearing about what, the performance that you're going to be putting on, 3 hours is, it's an amazing experience, really. And so it seems like once you're able to put that together, the crowd will be, pretty excited to hear it. So what song are you most proud of today with what you've created?
I'd say on my album Emergency, it's gonna be my first single that we're releasing, and it's called Bad Habit. And the reason that I'm the most proud of that song is because I wrote it initially in 5 minutes. It just was a thing like, hey, I want something that sounds like this, and then boom, it came out. And I had such a vision for what I wanted the production to sound like that I was pursuing that for a year. I mean, I have maybe 12 versions of that song. I'd keep going into studios, trying stuff out, and no, that's not it, no, that's not it, no, that's not it. And I'm proud of myself for persisting and believing in the vision that I had, because it's really hard to, when you're an artist, when you're an artist, you have people telling you like, oh, you're being too critical, you need to let go of it. But you have to trust yourself and your instincts, and also really, really aim for that high, goal that you're placing for yourself. And I did, and I achieved it. And so I'm really proud of myself on that one. I'm really proud of that song. And I can't wait till you guys hear it. It's featuring Talib Kweli. If anyone's a hip hop fan, he dropped 16 on that song, which is also amazing. Like, where did he come from on that? It was so cool.
That's pretty good. How many, so you brought up a perfect point. A lot of the younger generation right now, when they're coming up as artists, as Assyrians, a lot of times they face a lot of criticisms and they face a lot of obstacles in their way. How have you faced those criticisms, and how have you overcome them, just so that other people who may be trying to follow your path can learn from your struggles and then your success as well?
I'd say stay informed, stay as informed as you can about the field that you're pursuing. If you want to do art, if you want to do music, if you want to do theater or dance, it is a viable career option. You just need to know your industry. That's something that I find, because in the Assyrian community, I feel, and I hate that I'm saying this, but it was often shunned to pursue a career in arts because it was seen as financially unstable. And don't get me wrong, it is. You have a struggle, but it's worth it. And you don't have to struggle, because there are places within every artistic industry that people want to pay you to do. Like for example, you guys are in film. that's an invaluable skill, you know, to learn how to do editing or to learn how to edit colors. You can work for the NBA, for TV stations. If you want to be a dancer, you can get a gig doing music videos, not for Snoop Dogg, but something more artistic. You know, there's things you can do. So one, stay informed, know your industry, know where you can apply your value. And two, know that the words coming out of other people's mouths, a lot of the times you have to take them into consideration, but don't let them define you. Really, really be open to the messages that are being sent to you in life. If your heart's pulling you towards a career in the arts, listen to it. And people stop criticizing when you start making a change and start making a difference and start doing something. They stop criticizing because they see that you can achieve it. And one other thing I want to add is that the reason that it's more criticized and more difficult is because it's not within a system. It's your own system that you're building for yourself. So people can't see that, but if you can, then go for it.
So, KSRA, I wanted to ask you and follow up, how do you define your style, given that there's so many different pieces to it? How did you get to where you are today with your style of music?
So I would define my genre or style based more on the feelings that I want to elicit, because it's oftentimes I want to create some sort of a cathartic change. I want people to be able to relate. And I'm not unique in that. That's what most artists do. But I find it that the feeling is what bleeds into my choices as far as the sonic palette in my music. And so it's a combination of the hip-hop beats and electronic production that I love, which I find, you know, it's the future. It's the sound of the future. Someone takes white noise and can simplify it into one little sound and then make music out of that. It's incredible. So you've got electronic production, and then you have a tribal backbone. I feature Doombek in a lot of my songs. I also, just so you know, I play and multi-track everything that myself. I play all my own instruments and everything. So there's Doombek in a lot of it because I love, like, you know, when we're in Sheikhani, that vibe of everyone moving together to this heavy beat, that's in my music. And then vocally, it's my inspirations from R&B and folk blended together and put in there. So it's a combination of all those things. And I call it schism. So I made a genre up.
Well, we'll help you make that catch on. I mean, schism and emergency is where you're going to be featuring a lot of that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Awesome. So going more towards the Assyrian part of things, how can Assyrians help promote your music and your genre?
Well, I guess 3 ways, and many of them have been happening. Well, all of them have been happening already, which I'm so thankful for. One is by asking me to come play. So thank you so much, San Jose, for having me come out. And 2 is by talking to your friends about it. And 3 is sharing it on social media. And of course, this is only if you like what you hear and you think that other Assyrians would like it too, because I'd love to reach as many as possible.
And just speaking about reach, I mean, how do you want to connect with them? I mean, how do you want to connect with Assyrians? I
get this sense of excitement, like, okay, most people don't know I'm Assyrian when I walk into a room or when I perform. They're like, Surete, what? Mutmilati, what? You're Assyrian? How is that possible? So I'm just really excited to connect because for so long I lived 2 separate lives, basically. You know, I had my life as an artist and I had my life as an Assyrian at home with my family and with my Assyrian friends and at church. And now I feel like those can combine and I feel so whole. It's a really beautiful thing. So what I would like to do is connect to the Assyrian people and maybe read what they need as an audience and try and write songs specifically for them, which I already feel like I do in a way, but more. And to be an inspiration for anyone who is young and aspiring and wants to be an artist, because I'd like to say that you can do that.
Awesome. And do you have a favorite Assyrian artist?
David Isha, for sure.
Okay, perfect. And would you consider collaborating with other Assyrian artists in music, and have you done that already?
I have done it to some extent, not where we're both appearing on a song together, but there's a plan in the works for September of 2015 for an Assyrian folk album to be dropped, and it will be featuring many Assyrian artists. I'm very excited about this. It's been a dream for the past decade.
So I'm going to try to pull some information from you. Are there any artists in specific that you could mention, or is it all under wraps right now?
It's under wraps right now. The only one, no, I can't right now. So, but I can say that David Isha is my favorite Assyrian artist. I think if you haven't heard any of his music, check out the stuff he did in the 70s with the Bat Band. Like, so cool. It's Assyrian psychedelia. And check out his song Ishtari. Check out Ya Achuni. It's written by Fredo Naturaya. He's an inspiration to me. He's incredible.
Perfect. So now we're going to go to a little more lighthearted part of the conversation. Okay. What's your favorite Assyrian food?
Okay, so dikhwe. It's just gotta be dikhwe.
Another question that a lot of people may be asking is, tell us a little bit more about your hairstyle and what inspired the colors, the cut, and everything that a lot of people may be asking about.
So the hair, one, I love asymmetry. You could often find me walking around with just one earring in, just because I think it looks interesting. Two, I've always loved like geometry and structure, and I like applying that to myself. And three, I change my hair every 2 months, and that doesn't mean I dye it. I almost rarely dye it because it's really dark and it's hard to be blonde. Assyrian girls, you know. However, I got this done in Atlanta and they just know what they're doing. So I got a little triangle, a little geometric figure in my hair, and I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it, and then people recognized me because of it, so it's staying.
All right, cool. Well, thank you. So KSRA, is there anything else that you want to add to before we end the conversation, just about yourself and to promote the San Jose New Year's party that's going to happen here in San Jose?
I'm really excited to meet everybody in San Jose. I'm excited to play for you. I hope you love it. And I'm really looking forward to the future and just seeing where my path and the path of Assyrians cross.
Thank you, KSRA, for talking with us. And thank you for watching. If you guys are interested to learn more about KSRA, feel free to follow her on SoundCloud, on Instagram, and on Facebook. It's KSRA Music. Just look her up on those social networks using KSRA Music. For those of you interested in purchasing tickets to the New Year's Eve party here in San Jose, feel free to use the Eventbrite link posted below.